started running towards me. Kid you not, I almost peed my pants. Hey A&J family, it's Ashley, and today I'm going to be sharing 10 facts about me. But before we do, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to become part of the family. With that said, let's get into it. So the first random fact about me is I'm from Southern California. I was born and raised in California. So was Jason. Annie was actually born in California. We moved to Arizona around when Annie was about 18 months old. I was 12 weeks pregnant with Sawyer. We definitely love it out here, but we do hold California close to our hearts because most of our family is still there. The second fact about me is I'm 27. I will be turning 28 on November 28th this year, so it is actually my golden year. So that's gonna be fun. But yes, I am 27. Jason is 36. We actually have a 9-year gap. I met Jason when I was 21, and we just celebrated our 6-year anniversary since our first date. So it was really awesome. And if we want to hear that story, let us know down in the comments below. The third fact about me is I am a big introvert. I'm socially awkward in big crowds, and I'm working on it. I was way worse before I met Jason, but Jason is the polar opposite of me. He is actually a big extrovert. He can talk to any person that comes up to him or talks to him. I'm very standoffish. Some people think I'm one of the rudest people on the planet, but it's because I'm very shy when I first meet somebody. But my friends can attest to this. Once I meet you, once I'm comfortable around you, you better run, because I'm chatty, I'm a dork. So yeah, so I'm definitely an introvert. When I want to say like 8, I was like really out there, kind of social awkward, but like still talk to everyone. But I guess over time I just get really weird around big crowds and a lot of people, or people that just make me nervous. So yes, I am an introvert. Fourth fact about me is I am actually 5'7". I'm from a very tall family. My mom's side of the family has some tall people. My biological grandpa, I think he's like 6'6". His dad was 6'5". I think my half uncle is 6'4", something like that. My dad is 6'2", and my mom, she actually has scoliosis, but if she didn't, she would have been 6 foot, and that's tall for a girl. I think right now she's 5'10", but yeah, no, I am one of the short ones out of that side of the family. I was always that tall friend that would get something off of the top shelf for my friends. But yeah, I'm 5'7". Fifth fact about me is I was actually the only child for 19 years. When I was 19, my sister was born. That would make her 8 years old. And I know what you're thinking. My daughter is 3, my sister is 8, and they have the cutest relationship. When my parents and my sister come to visit, or we go to visit them, they are inseparable. Their relationship, you would think that they were sisters, not that they're aunt and niece. Yeah, she is a silly one. She is spunky, sassy, a awesome little sister. And she actually, bonus fact, she actually is part of the Down syndrome community. She was born with Down syndrome, so she is extra special. So the sixth fact about me is I love to dance. Now, I'm not a professional. I don't consider myself very good at dancing, but I really do love to dance. My earliest memories of me dancing were me hanging out with my dad, who actually was a singer, and me with his microphone in my hand, just dancing in my training panties with cowboy boots on. Now, mind you, I had these really bright pink cowboy boots, and they were my favorite thing. But I can remember just dancing around the hall in them and putting on shows and stuff like that. And I absolutely love TikTok. I haven't done any really challenging dance moves yet, but if you ask Jason, I can do most of the like cha-cha slide and the WAP and stuff like that. Like, those things are really fun for me. So the 7th fact about me is I actually have 2 tattoos. I have my Jesus tattoo and my anchor tattoo. I got my Jesus tattoo when I was 18. I was visiting my aunt who lives in Louisiana, and my cousin actually worked at a tattoo parlor, and the owner of the tattoo shop did this tattoo. And my Jesus tattoo actually kind of looks similar to Katy Perry's. It's on the same wrist, and I didn't actually know at the time that she actually had that tattoo, so it was a coincidence. And it kind of has the same sentiment as hers does too. I, growing up, was very involved with going to church and everything like that. So when I was 18, I wanted something to represent my faith, and I put it on my wrist to hide a couple of scars. But other than that, that is my Jesus tattoo. And my anchor tattoo is actually a promise that I made to my great-grandpa. My great-grandpa was in the Navy, and he had like his Navy tattoo right here. And he was obsessed with anchors and mermaids and everything like that. And I told him from a young age and mind you, he died when I was 15? Yeah, 15. And so as a young kid, I was so fascinated with mermaids and anchors because of him and all the folklore stories that he would tell me. And so I always told myself I wanted something to represent him. I wanted something to remind me of him, and also the fact that he anchored me in a direction. At one point in my life, I wanted to be a photographer, and that's because of him. He actually taught me everything about a camera. He always had a camera with him. He anchored me in a way for my love of photography and just embracing that. And the fact that I love mermaids, I love anchors, and I love just sitting on the beach and just hearing the waves. It's so relaxing. It's one of my fondest memories of just going for the day and going to the beach with him. So he is on my tattoo. The F is for him, and then the B in it, I don't know if you can see it here. The B in it was right before, a couple of months before I got my tattoo, my grandpa passed away, and he was and will forever be my best friend. We had lunch together, we literally had weekly lunches, and I would spend the night at my grandparents' house just to hang out with him on the weekends while my grandma was at work when I was a kid. And then when I was a teenager, right before he passed away, I would literally be at his house like all the time. So my grandpa was Superman. He was king of sarcasm. He was just our rock. And once my grandpa passed away, I knew that I wanted to incorporate him as well. And then right here on the bottom, I wanted to tie in kind of having my tattoos kind of match. And I came across this scripture in the Bible, and and I'm paraphrasing it. It's basically states that God's hope is the anchor to my soul. And I loved that it tied into my anchor tattoo. And actually, fun fact, I actually went back to the same tattoo parlor, but this time it was about like 4 years difference. So I was 18 when I first got my tattoo, and then 4 years later I got my second tattoo. And I think my third cousin actually did my anchor tattoo, and I was also obsessed with like the 50 style tattoos, and so he kind of designed it to look similar to a 50 style tattoo. And he put a heart in the middle because I told him the story and I told him what I wanted. I wanted my favorite colors in it. I wanted the love to show. The heart actually represents the love for both of them. The 8th fact about me is I am deathly afraid of possums. Now, possums, you ask. I can be around spiders. I can be around lizards. I can be even around rats for all I care. Yes, I don't like rats either, but I can be around them. But a possum, I can't even look at a picture of a possum. I will freak out. Freak out. Like, beyond. It can't be a cartoon possum. It can't even, like, just saying the word possum freaks me out. And I think it's because growing up, our laundry machine was outside. So we would have to go outside to the laundry to wash our clothes. And you would hear, like, them just, like, hiding from you and stuff like that. And one time, I remember this. It was after a school dance. I was getting dropped off at my friend's house, and I'm going to walk to her front door, and there was a possum, and it literally, I had to run back to the car because it literally hissed at me and started running towards me. Kid you not, I almost peed my pants. Like, I can't, like, just, I can literally picture it in my head. So yes, I am afraid of possums. I can't stand them. I think they are the, like, dog of hell. Like, that's, or the animal from hell. Like, they just look creepy, and no, hard pass. No. Next fact. 9th fact about me is I am actually half deaf on my right side. Now, growing up, I could remember I had tubes put in my ears, I had chronic ear infections, I had trips to the ear doctor where they tested my hearing, and they were wondering why I couldn't, like, hear certain tones. Now, I can hear out of my side, but I can't hear low tones. So, like, let's just say, for instance, if my mom talked to me on this side, I can hear her. But if my dad talked to me with his low voice, I can't hear him whatsoever. My left ear takes over. Growing up, I just lived with it, not knowing what the heck was wrong with my ear until I was about 17. I had my second and last tube surgery put in to, like, they wanted to see if that was going to help because my ear was more mature. Then they tell me, and we don't know exactly if this is the reason why, but this is what they basically said. They basically said I have a bone deficiency in my right ear. So when I was developing, when my mom was pregnant with me, my eardrum, one of the strands from it, the bones from it, it literally didn't grow right. So and that strand helps me hear low tones. Now in this ear, I'm perfectly fine. Didn't have a single ear infection on that side. I can hear perfectly fine on that side. Like, if my dad talked to me on this side or Jason talks to me on this side, I can hear him perfect. But it's only on my right side. And the funny thing is my mom and my dad both have problems on their right side, but my sister has a problem on her left. Weird, my whole family has ear problems, but other than that, I am half deaf on this side, and it's just a fun fact. I did actually, once I was 17, they gave me a small little hearing aid so I can hear low tones, but I still actually have it, and I don't wear it. I was so used to the way that I heard. The hearing aid just made my ear sweaty, and I don't like anything in my ear. You can ask Jason. There's sometimes where I have like a random earache, and he's like, oh gosh, your terrible ear. So, but yeah, I am half deaf on my right side, and yeah, that's one of my crazy, hardly anybody knows that about me fact. The last fact, our 10th fact, is that I actually burnt half of my taste buds and killed them. When I was 4 years old, I actually was spending time with my grandpa, and he was watching TV, I believe, and I was playing upstairs in my room, and I was going to the bathroom and I saw this coffee can. And for you 90s babies out there, if you remember the Folgers cans, well, my grandpa had a Folgers coffee can in the bathroom, and I was like, ooh, coffee. I'm not allowed to have it, but nobody's around, so I'm gonna taste it, you know, see what's going on, or what the big deal was about it. I took my index finger, and I remember plain as day, because it's literally a core memory that I will never forget. I took my finger and I licked my finger, and then I put it into the mix of what it was. And the mix did not look like, I didn't know what coffee looked like, but to now knowing it, I was like, oh, Ashley, that's not coffee. Coffee's brown. This is like greenish white stuff. Don't touch it. But this is what I would tell myself now, knowing what it was. But so I stuck it in my mouth. Like, I literally licked my finger with it. Like, I licked my finger, put my finger in, and I licked my finger again. And as soon as I did it, my tongue started burning, like extremely burning. Without a doubt, like the first touch of it being on my taste buds, it started burning them. I then quickly spit it out. I didn't swallow it, thank God. I ran downstairs and I told my grandpa, oh my gosh, my tongue's burning, my tongue's burning. He's like, crap. And then he called my mom. My mom came and picked me up. And this is before my grandma got off of work. She worked at Home Depot. And my mom picked me up. They took me to the emergency room. They rinsed my mouth with this like saline nasty crap. I remember the taste of it. And then I went back home and my grandma was actually home. Or like my grandma was actually getting home. Back home. And my parents let me spend the night at my grandparents' house. Like, they gave my grandpa a lecture for sure. And then my grandma gave him a lecture for sure. I remember that. And my grandma then came over to me and she's like, Ashley, that was not coffee. And I asked her what it was. And she was like, that was Drano. That was extra strength Drano that you put in your mouth. And I was like, what is that? Like, a 4-year-old doesn't know what it is. She goes, that's stuff that you put in the sink. Because my grandpa actually was retired from working from the sewer plant and had like the extra strength stuff to clean the bathrooms with. To this day, I can remember the weeks following up to that. My tongue was numb. I couldn't feel it at all. I had to eat yogurt, like nasty flavored yogurt, not chocolate flavored, like the snack pack yogurt. I had to eat like nasty yogurt. And Jello, and to this day I can't eat Jello. I don't like Jello. I can't stand it. It just, the texture of it. And over time my taste buds started coming back and stuff like that. Like, I can still taste stuff, but so it's weird. Okay, for example, when I was a teenager, I loved hot Cheetos. The lemon hot Cheetos, the hot fries, that kind of stuff. But those stuff made my tongue blister. Like, they hurt my tongue. The artificial flavored, like, spicy stuff always hurt my tongue. And they still do. I still eat it, but I just grin and bear it, right? But if you put a jalapeno in my mouth, like just random jalapeno, I can eat it like it's an apple. It's not spicy to me at all. My taste buds do not register jalapenos or anything that has to do with naturally spicy food. I just can't register it. And then like some textures, like I don't like mushrooms, I don't like certain types of vegetables and fruit because of what I did to my tongue when I was 4. But yeah, I burnt my taste buds when I was 4 years old. And to this day, we don't use any chemical stuff like that. We use vinegar, we use natural chemicals just in case for God knows what. We actually, like, we leave it out. Our kids know those things are not supposed to be touched, but in a freak accident, if they forgot that they weren't supposed to touch it, it's a natural chemical, you know, it's a natural food that can be also eaten. But yeah, so with that said, that was the last fact on my list. If you guys like these videos, definitely let us know in the comments. We definitely love your feedback. Let us know if you want to see Jason's facts about him or Annie or Sawyer. Let us know and we can do some more of these videos. And definitely let us know what kind of content you would like to see. Remember, family, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell to become part of the family. Until then, have a family-filled day and we'll talk to you in our next video. See you later.